Hello, the internet. Almost 10 years ago, Pixar released Inside Out, to which people considered it to be one of Pixar's best films in the 2010 decade, as well as not only one of my favorite Pixar films, but even one of my favorite films in general. So much so that people were begging for a sequel to this film, and in 2022, the sequel was announced, and people, including myself, cannot be any happier, especially when the film was not only critically praised by critics, but has broken many box office records, being Pixar and even Disney's first film to gross $1 billion since 2019, even being Incredibles 2 as Pixar's highest grossing film of all time. And I cannot be happier to see a Disney film be highly successful after the disaster that was 2023. So, what going in the minds of critics? Let's find out. 2 years have passed since the first film. Riley is now a teenager and is going to a hockey camp for the weekend. Suddenly, new emotions appear like envy, embarrassment, ennui, aka boredom, nostalgia, and anxiety. Anxiety really wants Riley to succeed in the hockey camp, but that also means get rid of Riley's main emotions: joy, fear, sadness, anger, and disgust out of headquarters. So now Joy and the others must find a way to get back to headquarters and stop anxiety before she messes up Riley in more ways than one. As a sequel to one of my favorite films, I have to say this was quite a worthy successful. Not as amazing as the first film, but still a great time. The film still keeps the same concepts as the first film with personifications of the human head in a unique way. But it also features new creative ideas, like with the sense of self. The human stuff is quite still relatable to audiences, especially to teens. Pixar even hired teens to provide feedback to how teens would react and stuff. That's how dedicated they were to making the teen stuff feel real. And how are the characters in this film? They are still as likable as ever, if Joy's still having some issues to work out on. It was only Joy's idea of letting other emotions take over, but her desire on keeping Riley happy still makes her come across as dense at times, especially when she throws away the bad memories, and she needs to learn that negativity, while scary, is still a natural part of life. Plus, it's nice to see other emotions join Joy on her quest. In the first film, they were mostly unintentional antagonists, but in here, they get more laughs and more emotional moments. Speaking of which, the film can be quite hilarious at times, especially when they poke fun of educational shows like with the character of Bluefy, and with Pouchy. These scenes have me cracking up like crackers. But what really makes this film is the topic and character of anxiety. I like the use of antagonists in this film. As the first one, it was mainly about a person learning not to be so stingy, but I also like how anxiety is not portrayed as evil like Lotso Huggenbear or Jack Horner. She is more of a well-intentioned extremist, who wants to help Riley, but her narrow mindset causes her to lose sight of what really matters. Plus, as a person who gets easily anxious, the film manages to handle anxiety very well. The visuals for this film are great as usual. Especially when they use other uses of animations like 2D with Bluefy. Plus, the scene at the end where Anxiety and Riley both have a panic attack is excellently executed, as they capture the high pace and realistic way people would feel during these situations. If I had one criticism with this film, it would be that, where was that Jordan character in the first film, or in that short Riley's First Date? In conclusion, Inside Out 2 is a worthy follow-up that doesn't rehash anything and keeps up with the creative ideas of the first film, while still being as relatable, funny, and emotional as ever. This gets a 9 out of 10.